All right, welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 hour to make the best game ever. Okay, so last session we have fixed up some debugs, and here this function which was asserting in debug. I do wonder though if we if we do this indexing here, so it's a vector. Let me see, operator that. So my post now reference. What is this doing here? My first is a pointer. Yeah. It's only a problem in debug, right? The assert. Yeah. Good. We don't have a data function yet here for VS6, so we have to do this. We could use begin, right? But essentially, what does this return? An iterator. Yeah, then it would have to be written like that, right? Yeah, it's not exactly better, I would say. No, I think this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah. Okay, let's open a pull request. So create branch, fix. Oh, actually, it's just a refactor, right? Refactor. Refactor. Rebalance. Child. Sleepy. Update. Hold on. It's not quite right. We need to go to main. Hold on. Let's stash our changes. Let's go to main branch. Create branch. There we go. There we go. Okay, stash pop. There we go. And then we do where's it? GameLogic, yeah. So it's just this guy here. Yeah. So we changed this one here. We changed that and that. Okay. Fix. Fix. Refactor that to avoid what is it called? Vector operator. Yeah. To avoid vector subscript out of range, debug error. To prevent or to avoid. Okay. Yep. Good, so we can push that here. Show options, push. Yes. Okay. Then we go in here. And we do so this one will make this one here obsolete. So closes that. Yeah, closes. There we go. This change refactors to avoid the debug error. Functionality wise, nothing changes. And release, this is no bug. Okay, so this is refactor. Minor 0 hour. That's it. To do replicates in generals. Okay. Okay. Then next we can open another branch for stash. Okay, this one is fix debug compile errors. Debug fix debug. Let me see. Debug.h. Debug utils. Debug utils compile errors. Okay. Okay, let's exit this one. Oh, we got an error. Remove object from lookup table. Okay. Huh. Okay, the idea is pretty large. Size is 8192 object. Remove object from lookup table. Destroy list. Okay, that's interesting. Let me save the core stack. Notepad. Do we already have pending pull for this? I think Maula was working on something like this. Not this one. I don't know. Let's search for it here. Issues. Nope. Nope. Okay. Okay, what could be the problem here? Let's see. So the object has a very high ID. Okay, who is destroying this? Destroy all objects immediate. Okay, so there's an object list. Okay. This is like a linked list. Looks like a linked list, doesn't it? Yeah. So that it probably has like a next item or something in here. Next object. Aha, get next object. What is this accessing? M next. Okay. So here M next. Okay, so it's a linked manual linked list. Oh, sorry. Okay, so here we have another high ID object. And then another one. Okay, so there are multiple objects in the object list with high IDs. Is it maybe possible that the destruction happens after this object vector has maybe been resized by something else? Like you see. Resize object hash size. Okay, so we see that 8192 is the default size, and that's the current size we have for this vector, right? Here, 8192, 8K. So maybe the issue here is that GameLogic reset is called before. Okay. Yeah. The object is object clear. Destroy. Okay, so who is this? How is this destroying? Object list. Hold on. Object vector and object list are two different things. So I think the fix here is the fix is that this here needs to happen before we do this. Yeah. So we take this guy and we move it up here. And my guess is that this fixes the problem, yeah. Destroy all objects. The super hackers at so actually remove objects from lookup table. It accesses it. Yeah, okay, so it is a memory corruption. It is a memory corruption. Actually, it is not. Hold on, is it a memory corruption? Clear resize. it is not a memory corruption, because as long as a vector is not shrinking, it's not a problem. Yeah. So it is a fix, but it is not a bug fix. It's not a bug fix. Info. Well, I think it's not a bug fix, because when we clear and resize the vector, it is not shrinking it, right? It's not shrinking it. Destroy all objects. Info. Yeah, the container must not. Objects. All objects. Let's say objects need to be destroyed before clearing the objects, before clearing before clearing the object vector. Objects need to be destroyed before clearing the object vector. Yeah, that should do. Let me rename this branch here. I don't know why it now does a recompile. Because we stashed and unstashed. Yeah, okay. Process destroy list, what is that? Objects to destroy. We need to optimize this value later. Well, yeah. Okay, so here what we do is, where's this guy? This guy. Maybe put the comment here. This is refactor that to avoid vector subscript out of range debug error. Okay, you can push this guy as well. This change refactors reset to avoid vector. It happened when unloading shell map to exit the game. This bug is no concern for release runtime because the vector capacity will not shrink on resize. This bug is no concern for release the release runtime. This bug was no concern for the release runtime because the vector capacity will not shrink on resize. Yeah. Refactor minor. Well, we can still call it a fix, right? I mean, it is fixing like debug, so I guess we can put that. Fix 0 hour. To do replicate in generals. shrink on resize, and this one will write a 0 into resize when before the server will write a 0 into the vector, into the object vector, to the resized object vector, write zeros. This bug was no concern for the release runtime because the vector capacity will not shrink on resize before, it's a function, before function will write zeros into the resized vector. This would have been a this would have been a memory corruption if the object vector was actually shrunk. On that note, I think that this is a bug, that it doesn't shrink actually. I think this is a bug. This issue is no concern because the vector capacity will not shrink on resize. If okay, on that note, I would also like to open a report. They will investigate minor object vector does not shrink in GameLogic reset. I do not think it is intended to leave memory on resets. It means that the maximum memory from a long session will carry over the maximum memory allocated Actually, we can make it more broad. Investigate memory cleanups on level unload. Seen in the M object vector does not shrink on level unloads. I do not think it is intended to leave to I do not think it is intended to leave to not shrink memory back to initial levels on reset. It means that the maximum memory allocated from a long game session, match session, will carry over to all subsequent match sessions. This is probably a general issue across many classes and can be optimized. Can be optimized where I expect it is not intended to not shrink memory back to initial levels. It means that the maximum memory allocated from a long match session will carry over to all subsequent match sessions. This is probably a general issue across many classes and should be optimized to keep memory consumptions. Yeah, just optimize. Memory impacts likely will be low. Well, it's hard to say. Okay, so investigate minor memory. No, it's a task. Investigate insufficient, or let's say not optimal. Two. Well, I mean, so we saw like a value of 50,000, right? 60,000. So 60,000 times it contained a pointer, so on 64-bit that would be 8 bytes. Hold on, it was 60,000, right? So 60,000 times 8. So that thing is 480 kilobytes. In case of object vector, we are looking at, let's say, a 400 kilobyte to 400 kilobyte plus memory savings. Plus. It could be more. I mean, I think we had the shell map running for 1 hour maybe. I'm looking at 300 memory savings per 1 hour match or so. Can we say unoptimal? Investigate missing. Yeah, missing. Let's say insufficient. I think it's insufficient. Okay. I think we can mark this also here as fix. Okay, let's get back to stash main. Okay, so we're looking at oh, I just realized I pushed it to the completely wrong branch. Fixed the the branch name is wrong. Bad branch name. Well, I mean, we can't rename it now anymore. Or can we? Well, I don't know. Well, we just have to leave it then. Yeah, that was not my intention. Well, let me just open a second one. Now for real. Yeah. Okay. Slash pop. Okay, so yeah, so good. So what do we do here is right. So we want to test. So we have tested this one. Okay. Define this guy, stack trace, and profile. Yeah. Okay, how about we test all of these individually? First we tested we can compile with all in here. Yeah, so we are debug. So all debugs in, right? Yeah. Allow debug utils. Who's setting this? Yeah, release debug logging. Yeah, we probably also need to test this one here. Disable. Huh? If def release debug logging, disable. Huh? Ah, I see. I wonder how this is useful here. Like, why does it have to disable these guys? Okay, so this compiles. Okay, let's see what happens if we just put in profile. Let's see if that works. I mean, just disable maybe we should test. We should test the inverse of this. Yeah. That's okay. We let it run through. Okay, now we do the inverse. We put all these guys in. So basically only profile is enabled. No, that's not true. Hold on. That way. There we go. So allow debug utils is enabled. Is there anything happening on this guy? Hold on. If def. Yeah, let's see if that compiles. I think that's the easiest test. Yeah. Is there any, hold on, is there any usefulness in just having allow debug utils on? Just this on its own? Does it have any use? That doesn't make sense, yeah. Shouldn't this be debug crashing? If debug crashing? I think we should say if debug crashing. What about this guy? This one is okay, yeah. Debug. Debug utils. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's probably fine. It doesn't seem particularly useful to just have this allow debug utils, so I don't think that needs an option. Yeah. Okay, so my yeah, so I think what we should do is we should now comment out one after another. So we do this. Yeah. That works. Okay, then the next is debug crashing. works. Okay. Next. I think in CMake we need a tree state for this guy. We need a default on and off, right? Because you might want to enable this. Okay, that one actually failed. Debug stack trace. What does this do? If debug, I think logging. Debug logging, yeah. Well, if stack trace is dependent on logging, I mean, yeah, so it looks like stack trace pretty much needs debug logging. So how about here? You say if and def debug logging, define debug logging 1. And if and then here we say that stack trace is dependent on logging functionality. Spikers add info. Depends or requires logging. Okay, that should compile now. I think we can actually put add compile here. Okay, that compiles now. Then next we put this one here, debug profile. Okay, to be conclusive, we also actually need to enable tools. Yeah, I just realized. Yeah. Yeah. Let's enable the tools as well. Okay. Correct the most egregious. The most egregious. Looks good to me. I was trying to figure this one out the other day. Well, it's already merged, but yeah, thanks for the review, I guess. Yes. Ran into this swiftly in shell map. I have put popper fix in new pull requests 644, which makes it work the way it was initially intended to work. It was intended, which makes it work the way it was intended. I mean, his fix, I think, is also correct. His fix is also correct, but it adds 2 additional checks here. One here and one here. And it makes some other random changes here to accommodate whatever he did. Your fix here is, well, is it correct? Let me see. Yeah, this is correct. And child. This one is also. This one is also correct. Yeah, break. Yeah. Your fix here is correct in principle, but it adds 2 new branches in that hot loop, which, well, in that hot, but it adds 2 new branches. One in the loop, which is not necessary. And therefore is not the preferred fix for this. Preferred. Good. Good, so this one has failed now. Okay, so there is some stuff to fix here. Yeah. I think the simplest fix here is that. Oof, maybe not. Hold on. Why does it say this? tile indexes. How about we just put this guy here and then here, then we remove that, and then we move this guy here. Or maybe we put in quartile. Did cancel. What? Debug. Crashing. Yeah, that should fix it as well. And here we got another one. If def, same story here. Debug crashing. There we go. There's another one. Oh boy, be red. Void. Be red. Oof. Oof. How about we go from the top? Hurrah. Okay, I think that was it. Just a bunch of errors in Word Builder. No, there's more. Another one. Debug. Crashing. And another one. Debug. Yeah, debug crashing. And these ones are easy to fix. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Then what we can do next is try the stack trace. works. Next. This one was likely causing problems. I was talking about the other day when asking about vectors being reset. Resets itself before destroying the objects. This will cause a mismatch in the first minute on the following conditions. Multiplayer game, not replay. At least one user with a different version than this build. At least one AI present. Yes, it is likely that the booleans initialized with true. Initialize larger 0. Larger than 0. Nice test. Yeah, this is why we have to be super careful. Super careful with changing initialization values. Yeah. Same with this one. This one most likely is not 0. Assume values. Initialize. Okay, so this one is also compiled. Let's try the next one. Debug logging. Okay, so far so good. There. How big is this change? Build general's performance. Lowest hanging fruit is the largest number of change to knock out. Well, is this really a performance issue? I mean, build performance, I guess. But performance was meant to be used as a like runtime performance, not build performance. Well, I guess it can be used for that, yeah. There's a build here. Yeah. Oh, it's just 16 lines. Unsigned int. Because this returns unsigned int. Get list size. But here it returns a size t here. Okay, by the way, it did compile. Let me do the final test. So disable all of it. So this get list size. Yeah, oof. I think this should return size t actually. Should return size t. Try size t. Okay, that also compiles. Fantastic. Good, that means we have all. Then, so if we go back to debug and we now comment out all these guys, then we will have the default behavior, which means yeah. So I have a pretty clear picture of how to add these guys to CMake. They need the 3 states. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think we can leave it like this. We leave the commented out ones here. So someone who's touching the code can then like define these guys if he likes to. Otherwise you can use CMake. Yeah, so it required a bunch of fixes. I do think that we should change these guys. Yeah, we should change these guys to if debug logging and not if def, because I think that's the way it should have been in the first place. Yeah. Yeah. I just realized here we can actually remove the entire. We can remove that entirely. Let's wait until the compilation is done. There we go. Okay, so here I realize you can actually remove this here. That's not needed. Done. This one already looks good. Let's go to this guy here. Here we say if debug logging. Okay, done. And down here we do the same. There we go. Okay, that looks good. Next. Let's go to this guy. If debug logging. There we go. Next. If debug crashing. Why did we touch this one? We can revert this. Okay, this looks good. This one needs fixing. There we go, done. Next. Mm-hmm. 5947, 5947. Actually, hold on. Why don't we just edit it in here? That would be much easier. Yeah. There we go. No need to be complicated. Oh. Another fix for this actually would be that we say if we have debug QPF, what is this? Debug QPF, why is this turned on? Okay, that's probably fine. Okay. Okay, this one can be reverted. Debug CSC. How is this one defined? Okay, that's defined without a number, so that needs to be if def, yeah. On second thought, the majority of these guys, they are actually yeah, let me revert this one. It's not related. Actually, now on second thought, maybe we should keep if def and there should be a separate pass to make these if debug crashing and so on. Right? Thinking about it now. Yeah. Yeah, I think I was a bit over ambitious here. Yeah. Download debug. Download debug. Okay, this one was a nice change. It really got this small. Yeah. Yeah, how about we change it back again? I think that, yeah, I should think before I do things. Yeah, that's no problem. A little exercise, right? Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yeah. Yeah. It would be cool if I would have to press less buttons to edit it. If I could edit it right here, that would be cool. Is it actually possible? No. Why not? Is there like a button to make it writable? It would be cool if there was like make it writable or something. Maybe it's on a newer version. But it's just a viewer, I guess. It's not a text editor. The monkey work. Yeah. Yeah, that was avoidable. Cost us 10 minutes or so. That's okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Then let's see if that compiles or if there are some errors now. Yeah. Yes, let us test. Let us figure out what works first. Good, so this has succeeded. Fantastic. Good, then how about we do the CMake setup in next session? I don't feel like doing it right now. Yeah, we are 1 hour, 1 hour 40. Yeah, I think we have done quite a bit. Quite a bit, yeah. Yeah. Then next session we will create the CMake setup for this guy. For this change, I mean. And then we can open pull request for 0 hour. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good change. Okay. I notice you altered the left shift. Just looking at the original again, and the comment should me just be shifting to the left by 1 only. Huh? Did I get something wrong here? Hold on. +1. Well, I do not understand your inquiry. Is identical to the intent. How do we write intent like this? The intent was to simplify the calculation, because yeah, well, doesn't need an explanation. Yeah, so I mean, before it was here the child was like that, and here the child again like that. I is assigned to the child. I times 2 and I times 2 plus 1. I also don't understand why the child is like this here. It's kind of weird the way this is written. Yeah, it doesn't match this comment somehow. I don't know. But we didn't change it, so I guess it's fine. Good. Correct the most egregious signed, unsigned mismatch warnings. Okay, build generals performance 0. Yeah, I think this can be fixed, can be merged. Yeah. Okay. Looks good. FMT. Okay. Looks good, yeah. Static. That's good, yeah. That's fine, yeah. If and def, no debugs, yes. put it back in here. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm about to touch this as well in an upcoming change. We merge that before use, then it will be easier to add the options specific to CSC. Clean up on debug. Before this change, then we use that to add the CSC specific options. No, I think I need to study this a bit more. Next session, yeah. Okay, let me check what he has addressed here. I think this one, he added a comment here, and here as well. I think this you also address. Just move that back to start new game, just early in the function. Okay. Okay. I think he addressed all these guys here. This one as well. Yeah, I will continue this review in the next session. It's too much now. Good. Yes. And if we want this to be VS6 compatible, then we can use swap. Yes, please. Okay, good. Then I will end it here. Yeah, good. It's been 2 hours. Then I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.